I'm here this afternoon. I'm going to be discussing the profitable part of farming. Now, in the last few days, in the last few weeks, in the last few months, especially this year towards the end of last year, what we've been hearing most of the time, leave me with gold. What we've been hearing most of the time is farm, maybe somebody, people invested in farm and the farms are not good and everything. So does that mean nobody should farm again? And we've been shouting, there will be food scarcity, there will be food scarcity, yes, there will be food scarcity. And also, does that mean people should not farm again? No. I'm going to be pointing out some points, some profitable part of farming this afternoon. When we say profitable part of farming, when there are farm crops can be divided into two parts: the short-term crops and the long-term crops. When we say short-term crops, those are the ones that develop within the 3 weeks, and within the 3 months, 4 months, you start harvesting, like e.g., your maize, your yam, your tomato, your cucumber, all those those are short-term crops, as in, okay, you plant them between 2 months, 3 months, you're already harvesting. Those are short-term farm crops. And and like I said, the long-term farm crops are the ones that, okay, you plant them, you are not expecting returns back in the next 3-4 years, you are not expecting return back in the next 5-6 years, and those are the long-term crops. But you see, if the system were to be fine, short-term crops are very good, as in you quickly recover your money back. Like, for instance, you invest in maize, by the 2 months your maize is matured, there are 2-month maize, there are 3-month maize. By 2 months, 3 months, your maize is matured, and by the time your maize is mature, all you need to do is you harvest. Either you sell fresh, or you allow it to dry. In some cases, some people plant 2 times, 3 times in a year for that same maize. So the harvest is good. You recover your money back on time, and it's very good. But in the situation where we're having climate change effects and all these effects, short-term crops are at high risk. And that's why there've been a lot of people, farms failings and every other thing like that. Short-term crops, when you talk of pepper, tomato, maize, even yam, even cassava survive, because cassava is about 12 months, 1 year. So even more than 1 year, some stay more than 1 year. So cassava survive the climate change to some extent. See, it's not that all these things are not affected by climate change, but they survive to some extent compared to the short-term crops. For instance, if you plant maize and you plant cassava and rain stops for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, cassava will not be affected, but your maize will be affected. If you plant maize and you plant 3 crops, you plant coconut, or you plant lemon, or you plant orange, or you plant some other things, if rain stops for 1 month, the other crops, like 3 crops, like the coconut, your lemon, your orange, your cashew, will not be affected. But your maize is already dead. Your cucumber is already dead. Your tomato is already dead. So these are the differences. And that is why, considering all the climate change effect, considering the expensivities of things and everything, it is right now better to invest in long-term crops. If you have your land yourself, it's a land you buy by yourself, as in you've paid for it, you have the land, it's your permanent land or your personal land, and you can afford the seedlings and everything. Now I'm going to explain about the seedlings too. There are different types of seedlings. As in, there are different types of seedlings. There are, seedlings is what we use to plant. I'm explaining 3 crops, and I need to explain, okay, what are the 3 crops? So why are people not planting 3 crops? People are not really considering 3 crops because one, time. You look at it, okay, I have 100,000 naira. I want to invest in farming. My motive is this 100,000. I am looking at how I can turn it into 500,000 in the next 3 months. You can imagine that. So if I'm looking at turning my 100,000 into 300 or 500,000 in the next 3 months, I will never think of planting 3 crops. Meanwhile, in the process, if the farming system have been normal, there's no climate change, there's no challenges and so many things. So that 100,000 can easily be turned to 300 or 500,000 with good agricultural practices, with management, with every other thing. But the way things are going now, because this is not, the way things are going now, it is not really, it's like gambling now to quickly turn that. If you are not using, see, when we say good agricultural practice, especially for those other crops, the short-term crops, you need to put in your irrigation, you need to put in your mulching, you need to use the correct seed, you need to use manure, you need to take care of pests effectively. These are good agricultural practices, and these are the parts that will not make you to lose enough. And obviously, not many people can afford that. Not many people in Nigeria, or many people in the farm, or generally in Africa, is putting in the best good agricultural practices to get the result from the farm. So now, the tree crops, as I mentioned, you have the coconut, you have the cashew, you have the mango, you have the pineapple. You know, pineapple are 2 years. And these are things that are highly demanded for. Cashew, coconut, mango, lemon, orange. Do you know Nigeria imports concentrates, millions we spend. Nigeria, you know, all this fruit juice you are drinking, the fruit juice, Chivita, all this juice you are drinking and everything. Do you know they are the concentrates? The juice are not really imported. Some are imported, but the other basic ones, the concentrate is imported. Concentrate is the juice squeezed into a container, preserved, and then is brought into Nigeria, then where they get to dilute it to the taste they want. You understand what I mean? So the concentrate, the juice, the oranges and everything we're taking are imported. Mango juice, all these things, they are imported into Nigeria. And some other countries are buying the concentrates and everything, but because we don't have the trees, we are not planting, we don't have such plantations, so we are not really getting to sell them. As in, we have to import them. Now, so you can see the same thing goes with coconut. Coconut oil, I've talked about it severally here. Coconut oil is massively imported into Nigeria. The same thing with lemon. You see, I don't want to talk about lemon because it was a senior sister that really opened my heart to the lemon aspect of farming. As in, I've never thought that lemon is that could be that highly demanding or could have that great market. It's even observed that you cannot really get lemon all year round. Which meanwhile, I wish maybe one of these days I'll start explaining what they use lemons for. From the little research I've done on it, it's highly demanded. You see, so they are tree crops. Now, like I said, why people are not investing in tree crops is because of the time. One, look, I don't want to wait 5 years. I don't want to wait 4 years. I don't want to wait 3 years. Initially, the years are like 10 years. The years are like 10 years, 9 years before this tree crops matured. But nowadays they are no more like that. They've been hybrid, they've been budded, and hybrid is like, I don't know if I've explained this in one of the classes there. Maybe if you check one of my classes, I should have explained that. So hybrid are something they take the best out of two different parents and combine them together to get a good result. So we have a short-term crops now. We have all the coconut, we have the lemon, we have all the cashew that are short-term, as in they don't have to stay a year. They don't have to stay a year or so before you have access to them.